Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
And welcome, everybody, to the Touchdown Crew. Good morning, everybody. We have a light show today. Light show, but it's all good. If you want to go ahead and join in, it's 813-699-5353. Phone line is open. You can go ahead and call in with your comments, your takes, anything of that nature, to be honest with you. So go ahead and give us a call, 813-699-5353. Coach is on location. Michael is on location. They said that to go ahead and they'll try to go ahead and chime in or try to go ahead and log in, but internet connection is kind of iffy at best, which I guess, going ahead and the fact that I had to take off last week because I had no internet, it basically makes a little bit of sense. But anyway, I am back and the show is going on. The show is moving on. And we are in week number 5. As a matter of fact, we are currently in week 5 as we speak right now. The Packers and Giants are about 30 minutes into their game. Well, 30 minutes, real time. Right now, they're still in the first quarter, 3:40 to go and counting. The Packers are up 3-0. They are moving the ball right now. They're at the 38-yard line of New York. And apparently, Giants are holding tough. There's a PA interference right there. It's going to bring the ball all the way down to the 2-yard line. Rodgers went deep, tried to hit Lazard down the sideline, and Packers are going to have a 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. So Packers going to go ahead and look to increase their lead from 3-0 to probably the 10-0. So we'll see. We all have Green Bay in this game, by the way, just to go ahead and give you a heads up on our picks and what we got going on. But, yeah, all of us have Green Bay. So let's go over the picks real quick just to make sure that we had everybody's back on that one as I pull up the scores here from week 4, which I'll admit, Coach Vic, not impressive at all. Out of 15 picks, he went 5-10. Michael went 6-9. Randy went 8-7. I went 9-6. So let's just go over real quickly here. So we see here week 4. Yeah, show the scores. And of course, they won't show the scores. Why? Of course, they won't. Why would they? My apologies. Let's go ahead and try this again here. So one of the games that we had all picked on, we all thought the Browns were going to win. For whatever godforsaken reason, we thought the Browns were going to win. They ended up not doing so well. Week 4, guys. Come on. Get it together. All right. Apologies. Apparently my internet's still going up down. But yeah, we all had the Browns winning, and apparently they could not overcome the Falcons for whatever reason, losing 23-20. By the way, Rodgers to Lazard for a touchdown. Packers up 9-0 right now. So Falcons actually won that game 23-20. Now, again, keep in mind, too, you're dealing with Jacoby Brissett with the Browns. He's not expected to win a whole lot of games, but being 2-2 is actually not a bad thing for Cleveland. As long as you go ahead and maintain status quo, like you don't fall too far behind, you're still in the hunt. You're still in the playoff hunt. Unless you're in the AFC East, and that just, that's Buffalo, Miami territory, and we'll get to that in a second. But apparently Atlanta went ahead, and there's, with Marcus Mariota, they're 2-2. I didn't think they win 2 games all year, to be honest with you, but still, Falcons at 2-2. So Extra point, by the way, is good. Green Bay's now up 10-0, 3:19 to go in the first quarter. That game is in London. You can catch it on NFL Network right now if you want to go ahead and catch it on the tube. So, yeah, we were all wrong about Cleveland. The next one was the Commanders and Cowboys, and Randy was right on that one. We all picked the Commanders, but the Cowboys ended up being tough, 25-10 over the Commanders. Randy was the only one right on that one. Another one that was only one person was right on was the Seahawk-Lion game. The Lions have been averaging like 40 points a game. They're no joke. The problem is their defense is allowing just a little bit more than that. So we all thought Detroit would overcome this. We didn't think Seattle had that much offense in them. We were wrong. Vic was right, so he ended up getting that one. One of the ones, again, only one of us got right, was Tennessee and Indianapolis. Again, Tennessee has not shown us anything. They have not really been consistent, but they pulled it together against Indianapolis. And Coach Mike was the correct one on that one. Me, Vic, and Randy were all on the losing end of that one, unfortunately. One that Randy was the one that lost on this one, we all picked correctly, was the Giants against Chicago. Again, Chicago, their offense is just completely crap. And it showed right there. The Giants actually have a decent team, no question about it. And they went ahead and took it to Chicago, and they went ahead and beat them in that one there. Chicago. It was let's see here. Where was it? 20-12. It actually wasn't a bad game. It was just very bad execution wise. We were all right with Philadelphia. Philadelphia still remains the only undefeated team in the NFL. Philadelphia goes ahead and wins that game over Jacksonville 29-21, a little bit closer than we would have thought. We all were wrong with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is just a dumpster fire. So much so that Mitchell Trubiskey at halftime on game number 4 loses his job to rookie Kenny Picket, and he is making his first start today against Buffalo. What a way to make your first ever NFL start by going up against Buffalo. That's going to be a tough game. Pittsburgh at 1-3. I think they hit the panic button maybe a little too soon, but we were all wrong with Pittsburgh on that one. We go on to the Chargers and Houston game. The Chargers 34-24. We were split on this one. Me and Randy picked the Chargers. Both coaches picked Houston, so we got that one. And actually, Coach Mike is actually in the backfield. Here we go, Mike. How you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show, and glad you could make it on there. I know Vic is out there at the Texan game, so of course, anytime you're in Reliant Stadium, you're not very reliable. No reliable. So he's going to enjoy his Texans losing today. I can assure you that. But, yeah, we were just going over the picks here as what everybody picked. I mean, you had gotten one right that everybody got wrong. Vic got one right. Everybody pretty much got one surprise over the other three. So we were just going over that one. We just went into the Buffalo-Baltimore game, which everybody chose Baltimore for whatever reason, but the Bills came back and won it 23-20, and I was the one that got that one right. We all picked Arizona to win. We all picked the Packers to win over the Patriots. Randy picked Vegas to win over Denver, and he was the only one to get that right. Vic went with his heart. He went TB12, and he lost that one against Kansas City. I was the only one to pick the 49ers beating the Rams, and me and Randy were the only ones to pick Indianapolis beating Denver and that big dumpster fire down there. What a crappy game that was. But and right now, Green Bay 10-0 over the Giants. We all have Green Bay to win, so it's either all or nothing for us right now. So here's how it goes. Mike, you were 17-14 going into last week. I was 15-16. Coach was 17-14. Randy was 17-14. So far, without this Green Bay Packer game right now, so far, I am 9-6. Randy's 8-7. You're 6-9. Coach is 5-10. So not a very good week picking. I think he may have had some added pressure because he was actually the one doing the show and not me. So I don't know if that's the case, but maybe that's why he's not here. He took a look at the record. It's like, I have good internet, but I'm not going to log in. I mean, forget that.
I say you're losing.
Yeah, it's like he went from like being tied for first now to actually all by himself at the bottom. So it actually turns out that it is Randy, me, you, and Coach 1, 2, and 3. Everybody has a lead on here. Randy's won 25. I've won 24. You won 23. Coach won 22. So it's not too far. I mean, it's still a close race. I mean, it's still early. Don't get me wrong. As you can see, 1 week can make a difference, and we'll go ahead and continue on with that. But one thing I did want to bring to your attention, if you guys talked about this last week, I commend you guys. Unfortunately, under the circumstances I was in, I was trying to listen in. I even tried to go ahead and chime in, but it didn't seem like it really worked that well. But did you guys talk in regards to what's going on in Miami with Tua, the concussion protocol updates and everything like that that's been going on? I mean, it just seems Miami went ahead and laid a big fat egg right in the NFL's PA's doorstep. And it's now that they have to cover their behind by making some adjustments to a rule that we thought was going to protect players. But apparently there's ways around it, and Miami violated those. And I haven't heard of any penalty coming to Miami. I could be wrong on that. Hopefully I am, because anything like that where it's going to violate player health like that, I think there needs to be some type of punishment. But in regards to the protocol, the concussion protocol, did you guys discuss that last week?
We did speak on it, and we I think I want to say some doctors got fired from the NFL, but it's one of those, do I care about my product being on the field more, or do I care about the health? And when people think about that short-term benefit instead of the long-term benefit, you make bad decisions. And that's what we spoke on that they did. They made a bad decision just trying to worry about 1 or 2 games instead of the long haul for the benefit, not only for the athlete, but as well as the team. Listen,
Tua is not like a Hall of Famer yet. I mean, you don't go ahead and make that call based on, well, he's our starting quarterback, we need to bring him back in. I mean, so many Facebook memes have been put in there, even to the point where he got dropped on his head, rushed to a hospital, and they said, well, he's returning on the ambulance that he came in on, and he's going to go ahead and return for the fourth quarter. So it's just crazy how everything just blows up like that. So with that being said, the NFL has made amendments or adjustments following the investigation of the Tua Tagovailoa concussion evaluation. The NFL and NFLPA announced in a joint statement on Saturday that while the step-by-step process outlined in the concussion protocol was followed, the outcome in this case was not what was intended. In response to the investigation, the league's concussion protocol has been modified. The new protocol will be in effect starting today. The NFL and NFLPA announced specific change to the protocol that diagnosed of axtia, which has been added to the mandatory no-go symptoms that determine whether or not a player can re-enter the game. This is a quote from the statement. As such, as has been done in previous cases, based on the advice of the parties' respective medical experts, the protocol will be modified to enhance the safety of the players. Specifically, the term ataxia, A-T-A-X-I-A, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing, has been added to the mandatory no-go symptoms. It is defined as abnormality of balance and stability, motor coordination, or dysfunctional speech caused by neurological issues. In other words, if a player is diagnosed with that by any club or physician involved in it, they are not allowed to enter the game. They're basically out for that game if they show signs and symptoms. Coach, tell me something. Isn't this part of what would be classified as concussion anyway? If you go ahead and just have slurred speech, you can't stand up on your own, you can't have a motor skill. I mean, isn't that kind of generic information in basic concussion protocol?
Yeah, I bet, and I'm telling you, the difference is they worded it that way. previously it wasn't worded in those emphasis, but there's nothing changed from what a concussion is. Like you said, it's just now is worded in the description of what we're looking for instead of saying, okay, he doesn't understand this, he's wobbly, but it's on tape. Everybody's seen the boy couldn't stand up.
Right.
We went back down. So I don't know why. I mean, even to the emphasis, you can say if a ref didn't see it, because now you can start saying, well, the refs even know if a kid can't stand up, stop the game right now and get him off the field.
Okay. But
So,
I know the ref have to take a precaution, but listen, it's also part of the training staff to go ahead and get your players off the field. Now, I know the refs are like the overall signal caller on that one, where they can make that decision without having to consult with trainers or the coaching staff or whatever. But you know,
but once they take them off and they put them back on, it's not the ref's ability to say, okay, you can't play this game because we think you. That's because the doctor is over the ref. But the ref, once the first time it happened, the ref needs to see it. Okay, he saw it, he took him off. They're good. But once that doctor put him back on, it's out of the ref's hand. But
wow,
it's just worded a certain way now. So now everybody knows what they're looking for. But whoever did that dropped the ball significantly on putting that young man back in the game.
Oh, huge. And I want to confirm that, yes, that doctor on the staff did get fired for it, or there may have been a couple of people that got fired for it because of what has ended up in a huge backlash. Huge. Now, I don't know if just having these doctors getting fired, is that enough? Because, again, you're talking about putting players' health at risk. I think that's a lot more than stealing signals or going ahead and talking to another quarterback that's under contract. You know, those type of violence. I think that's more significant than going ahead and doing any of those other things. I think there needs to be penalties on Miami for allowing that to happen.
No, I agree. But now I'm playing devil's advocate. Let's say they go through the protocol of the symptoms check and he passed all of them with flying colors. Let's say he did. Now, how do I penalize a doctor for if he did pass all those protocols? And then the young man, and any football player, if you allow me to make a decision to play, I want to play.
Right.
The information that sends it to be questionable is it's a back injury.
Yeah.
How did you diagnose a back injury from him being wobbly and can't stand up? Don't know. That's for me. That's where the funny stuff comes in. But you give a player opportunity to say, hey, you want to go back in? I don't know a player that's going to say no.
Would it be advisable to actually have NFL non-biased doctors doing these games instead of the team doctors?
I think I don't even want to say NFL. You have to have they're going to be contracted, but independent contraction.
Okay.
To where you have no affiliation with the NFL, period. Now you can get technical and say, oh, he's a fan of the team, but that's nitpicking. But you need somebody who I want to say almost like the cheerleaders. You don't really work. You get all the benefits and the perks of being with the NFL, but you're not under contract specifically NFL. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. I know what you mean. But I think that's something because anybody that has the doctors on the team, they're going to go ahead and say, if we can get you in, we're going to get you in. I mean, there's some teams that are just locked down with the rules. Most of them are. I mean, you take a look at I'll go ahead and mention my team, the Patriots. We won't let we'll go ahead and put everybody on the injury list.
Yeah.
But we'll go ahead and take, all right, we're still going to play. But for concussion protocol, listen, that's not a knee injury. That's not that's not a back injury. That's not a foot injury. That is something that's going to F you up in life. And if you go ahead and get too many of those, that's going to not only end your career, but that could also cause you some long-term damage down the road. And listen, most of these guys, they're dads, they're husbands, they need to go ahead and make sure that they're taken care of when it's time to hang them up. And even though this thing was changed and modified to go ahead and take a look at this, like, we need to go ahead and change the term dude, it's the same thing. And you want to go ahead, and if that's what's going to make or break you on that one here, I think that's kind of shit, kind of crappy, really, to look at it. If you're going to go ahead and make a break just based on a term, oh, well, they don't mention this term, so we can go ahead and get away with it. But it's the definition is the same. It's the same as what you would normally put in. So I think the protocol is there. I think it's solid. I just think the people also, they need to be accountable for it, because I guarantee you, dude, if Tua didn't get knocked on his head or anything like that, this probably doesn't happen. That this probably doesn't happen where, we start questioning, well, should he have returned? Okay, did he pass it with the flying colors? Well, obviously he didn't, because obviously somebody got fired for it. But I guarantee you, if he didn't take that bump and got rushed to the hospital, I don't think we'd be talking about this. So in a way, it's kind of good. I mean, not for Tua, obviously. I'm glad he's okay.
For future incidents.
In a way, due to circumstances, that it's good that this happened, because that way, that exposed that dirty underbelly of the system. That, hey, there's people taking advantage of this. There's people that are cutting corners. We can't allow this. So in a way, it's good. But Tua should be making a full recovery, though. I mean, again, they're going to make sure he checks all the dots all the I's and crosses all the T's on that one before they even let him down on it. So, right here, it basically states, what exactly is it? It's just it's a checklist, really. If I can zoom in on this thing, it would be great, but don't know if it'll allow me to. Hang on. Yeah, zoom 150. All right, so player is immediately removed from the sideline. They do a sideline survey, removes helmet, team physician, and UNC performs sideline survey. No-go, history of event, concussion signs, symptoms, Matic questions, video review. And they focus on, again, speech, range of motion, observation, eye movements, stuff like that. And then they go ahead. If any of these are positive, they go to the lock exam, and they do a complete SCAT scan, neurological exam. The team physician takes over after that. If it's normal after the sideline survey, when they go into the damn blue tent, if it's normal, they can be cleared to play. So based on what you saw with Tua, and again, I don't think anybody, we're not doctors, but based on what you saw with Tua, with him being kind of wobbly, the legs look like he got hit from a couple of Mike Tyson uppercuts. Did you honestly think that there was any way this guy would return?
I didn't think so, but once again, as a person watching the game, when he got back in, did anybody say, "Oh, he don't look like he should be back in there"?
No,
you see
because
what I mean?
When you go ahead, you shake up the cobwebs.
Right.
You could still have a concussion.
You do.
But you can go ahead and fake it.
Exactly, and that's why I said when I played devil's advocate, he probably passed everything that the doctor gave him with flying colors.
Yeah.
But if he didn't get hit again, he would still be playing right now.
Yeah.
With the possibility of still having one.
Yeah. So
like you said, it's probably a small blessing that he is okay, that he's able to not allow anybody else to be into the situation that he got into, because it could have been real bad. I just think by giving that false information on it's a back injury is what heightened it for me. I think that's what heightened it. You gave a false diagnosis.
Yeah, that's bad, because that goes ahead and says, well, what other teams might be giving false information? What other teams may be saying, well, yeah, it's a back injury when it could be a neck injury. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's really it's already a dangerous sport as it is. And don't get me wrong, these guys are protected from head to toe, but it's not always going to be, depending on the type of hit, you're not always going to be protected. I mean, it gives you protection based on normal hits. You go helmet to helmet, oh, you're getting knocked the F out. There's no question about that. You go helmet to helmet, I don't care how much padding you have in that helmet. If you go, 20 miles an hour into each other, you're out. You're in concussion protocol for weeks, if not months. So it's really scary that they modify the whole protocol with adding a term. And again, I really hope that all the teams, all 31 other teams, they take this seriously. And if they are kind of, bending the rules or they're kind of like, all right, he's okay, 98%. That's still 2%. You got to go ahead and worry about it. Hopefully they just don't keep doing it if that is the case. So, well, there you go. Any comments on the protocol? Give us a call, 813-699-5353. That is the number. Charles is back here. Hello to me and hello to Mike. He has made it. Vic is on location watching the Texans lose a big game. He'll be happy to go ahead and that he got tickets for that one. But and it looks like Mike, you're actually, I guess you're at your work or place.
Yeah, we about to start preparing for our next opponent. So we got in early.
What do you got going on over there? So this is football, I assume?
Yeah, football season. We about to prepare for our next opponent. We got a short week. We doing like the NFL. So we play Thursday this week. We got Thursday night. So we gotta work twice as hard in a shorter time.
Now it's high school or Pee Wee or
it's high school. It's high school varsity.
They do play Thursdays. I'm over here thinking it's like Friday is your high school football day.
It is, but when you got a lot of teams that share stadiums, sometimes you end up with Saturday night, sometimes you end up with Thursday night. So you got a rotation.
Okay. So so I guess if it's big in the area that you're in, and I didn't know. I thought each high school had its own
you got certain school districts share stadiums. So
wow. Well, I wish you the best. And any specific game plan that you guys are going to go over? Have you guys struggled in anything that you guys need to work on?
We had to replay miracle go around with our O-line, so we trying to make sure some things look together. We didn't look bad last night, but we tossed in a young guy. He's a sophomore, never played before. He did all right last night, but we got to get real more physical up front. We lost some key players. So
now you guys are following concussion protocols, right?
Oh, most definitely. Oh my goodness. Most definitely. We don't.
They haven't even started earning money yet. I mean, you can start earning money when you're in college now. They haven't even started earning money yet. You got to definitely go ahead and.
If I think you have something, I'm gonna sit you. Like I don't. I got to sleep at night. I don't want that on my conscience.
Right. Well, that's true too. These people have to sleep at night, and I guess they take a lot of melatonin or something like that. They go ahead and make these type of freaking calls, and they must drug up and make sure they get their rest. Well, listen, we got some injuries, of course, in the NFL, and a lot of injuries too, to be honest with you. So some have been forced into younger players getting bumped in. Some were basically just by coaching decisions, and one of them is bye Mitchell Trubiskey. Mitchell at halftime showed how horrible he is as a quarterback, and they just said adios, and it's Kenny Picket time. When Kenny came in, he did pretty good, 10 of 13. The problem is all 13 of his passes were caught. They just weren't on the same uniform. 10 of 13, 10 completed to the right team, and the other 3 were completed to the wrong team. When you take a look at that stat, 10 of 13, that's a good stat, 10 of 13. But when it accompanies 3 interceptions,
it's horrible.
Do you kind of look at that as the quarterback, or do you kind of look at that as like, oh crap, it just slipped out of my hand. I read the wrong play. Do we look at it as a rookie mistake?
Well, I mean, I didn't get to see none of that game, but I would have to look at the 3 interceptions. Did they hit the receiver's hands and get tipped, or were they just bad reads and he just threw it and it was a pick. So some of those you got to look at how the incident happened. Because I know if I throw a good ball and it hits you in your hands, you don't catch it. I get credit for it as a quarterback, but everybody who watching the game know who fault it was.
Yeah. So it's like, obviously you'll go ahead and take a couple of these interceptions that are tipped and should have been caught. They go right through the hands and then just end up in the receiver in the cornerback's hands. And but still it shows up badly on your record. But I mean, 10-13 again, not bad for a rookie. And
not
again,
bad at all.
Now he's going to be playing with the first team offense in practice. He's going to learn a little bit, going to do a lot more reps. You think he goes ahead and actually shows us a lot of improvement in the second game. Now, again, going against Buffalo, not exactly the easiest team. Against the Jets, on the other hand, yes, we all thought he was going to do something, but we all thought Pittsburgh was going to do a lot better than what they did. But now going against Buffalo, rookie's first start going against Buffalo. Do you see him making the same progress, or do you think Buffalo is just going to hand him an ass whooping?
No, I think I actually think he's not going to do that bad. Once again, Pittsburgh always relies heavy on the run game. After a good week of practice with the first unit, now you're able to get the timing with your receivers. You're going to get more confident because they're going to have a play script specifically for you that you did exceptionally well with all week. So it's going to be a hard pick to pick Pittsburgh to win the game, but I definitely don't see him with 3 picks. I would not be shocked if he don't throw more than 15 attempts, unless they're trying to play catch up. But I think he has a productive game. I don't think they don't put a lot on their quarterbacks. So I think he does a productive game.
Yeah, especially with this one. They're going against Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. I mean, right. You kind of you don't want to put too much on the rookie too hard. And I think Buffalo's going to know that. And I'm sorry, I said, Pittsburgh at Buffalo, not at Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's right there on the lines that you don't want to put too much on your rookie quarterback. And I think Buffalo's going to know that. So they may stack up the line. I see Buffalo winning this one, obviously, but like you said, we're going to see what he's made of. I think he's going to throw more than 15 times because I think they're going to have to.
Okay.
Buffalo's going to stop the run so much that they're going to have to go through. What you want to do, though, is you want to make it passes that are comfortable, like short passes, maybe some slants, maybe some goes or cutbacks. You want to make sure that he's comfortable with those and make those throws. Don't put in too much. Maybe screen a lot too. But that's going to be his first start as a rookie. But again, that's going to be kind of a big one, going up against the Bills, who are right there at the top of the AFC East, top of the AFC, period. The other rookie making his first start, Bailey Zappe of the Patriots. He's going to make his first start. Mac Jones out, and Brian Hoyer, concussion protocol. Man, we're going to be seeing a lot of that concussion protocol. But Hoyer in protocol, Mac Jones, even though he did practice limited, is placed as doubtful. So they're going to give the ball to Zappe. And he's going up against Detroit. The problem with Detroit is they score a lot, but they also give up a lot. So this might be a productive game for Zappe, depending. I mean, he went ahead and took Green Bay to the limit. So he was doing some good stuff against Green Bay. The only thing is our defense just didn't show up in the second half. Rodgers went ahead and torched him. Speaking of Green Bay, by the way, Rodgers did go ahead and throw a 3-yard touchdown, and they're up 17-3 over the Giants. And Saquon just broke a big one playing the Wildcat. So, but yeah, this one goes against Detroit. Detroit, again, like I said, they're averaging like 40 points a game offensively, but they're also giving up like 40 points a game too. So Zappe may have a better offensive show than Pickett may have, based on just the statistics with Detroit. So I'm not sure who I'd pick with that one. I do know is they are wearing the Patriot jerseys today in Foxborough, so they may have a little bit of an extra oomph going out of the locker room. So we'll see. We'll get to those picks later, though. But those are your two rookies. Do you see any one of these two rookies having a better day than the other, or do you think it's going to be pretty much down the middle?
I think, like you said, because Detroit gives up a lot of points, I think Zappe has a better opportunity to have a better day. But
and also too, to the point you made before, Pittsburgh relies heavily on the running game. So does New England.
Right.
So both of them have good running games.
So they not walking in trying to say, "Hey, you got to go win the game for us."
Right. Right. So that that kind of gives a little bit more of a comfortability factor right there. So there you go. Well, actually, hold on a second. Coach is not at the Houston game because unless he went and flew into Jacksonville, I don't think so. So they say, where the hell is Coach today? Anyway, we'll worry about that. I'll bug him later. He lied to you because I heard he had he had tickets for the game this week. I'm thinking, no, you don't, not unless you go into Jacksonville. And if that's the case, you got there already. Anywho, so Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle for the Dolphins, excuse me, they are looking to play today. So some of the people that were injured or questionable, they are going to go ahead and play. Let's talk real quick. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Should he be concerned? Cooper Rush is taking this team 3-0 under his leadership. Cooper Rush, who? The Dallas Cowboys are winning without Dak. Does Dak need to be concerned about his starting job?
No worries. He's not concerned, and they're not going to be having all that big investment in them to let him sit on the sideline and be a cheerleader.
They're saying that he needs to make a lot of improvement if he wants to play against the currently undefeated Philadelphia Eagles in Week 6. I gotta throw it right out there, man. How are you feeling with your Eagles 4-0?
He growing on me. Number one is growing on me.
You're not giving him a Christmas card yet? Are you kidding me?
And I don't know if you've seen it. I like, man, he must be talking about me. The sweatshirt he had on. He said, "God bless everybody who hating on it." Like, I ain't hating on it. I was just like, man, I ain't all the way believing in him yet.
You just didn't have a lot of faith in him.
Exactly. But he growing on me. He growing on me.
What is it going to take for you to go ahead and I'm not saying buy one because, I don't know your financial situation, but if you had the money, what would it take to have you buy a Jalen Hurts jersey? What would it have to take?
I'm a different type of person when it comes to the jersey. I'd rather buy somebody who's not playing no more because I know you ain't gonna get traded.
Oh, okay.
Like I go get a Randall. I had a McNabb. Yep. But then he left. That was one of the reasons I stopped. I was like, no, I'm good.
Would you get a Reggie White jersey?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
All right. Just making sure because Reggie White went to the Packers, and it's like, what the hell's going on here? All right, so maybe not the jersey. What's going to take for you to be a Jalen Hurts fan?
I mean, I'm you playing for me. I'm cheering for you, but you gaining a whole lot more respect for me. He got control of the offense. He's moving the ball. The system that he's in is more productive for him, and I like what he's doing. So we almost there. I already told you Super Bowl, and he's starting to prove me right. So I'm there. I'm there. Let me. I ain't got to say we got to go 8-0. Let's say by week 11 we 9-2, 8-3. He got me.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right. So we heard you right there. We heard that right there.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia to keep their winning streak alive. Are they playing this week? Because I know
we got Arizona this week.
You got Arizona. That's a 4:25 game Eastern time. Right out there in the desert. So and they're in a dome, so you don't have to worry about the heat.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here. So injury report. Obviously, we're already watching the Giants and Packers, so we don't really need to go into that. But they were down Kenny Galladay for the Giants, and the Packers really had nobody insignificant, really. So, but looks like there was a report. Russell Wilson had to go under. Andy Dalton is going to start for the Saints. with apparently Jameis Winston is out and Michael Thomas is out. So New Orleans is in a little bit of trouble as well now. They're going up against Seattle, which let's talk about Seattle real quick. Who the hell is this team? You got Geno Smith quarterbacking, and you're 2-2. Nobody ever thought you'd be 2-2 after 4. I mean, I guess unless you're a Seattle fan. But who is this team? What's going on? Are they underestimating them?
That's what it is. Nobody took them serious, and they're shocking everybody. So when you don't get high value, you think you got I don't want to say a free week because it's an NFL, but you underestimate people, and then they shock you, and you're like, oh my goodness, we didn't take practice as serious as we should have. We didn't do this as serious as we should have, and the result is we lost. That's all it is, because they're not, and they're a team. Like I said, once you have a team of people, no matter what it is, that believe in the system, and they believe because they believe they have nothing to lose. Right. So they're just playing balls to the walls. Let's go get it. And just and basically let's ruin everybody's season that we play again.
So we got Victor was giving us his picks. Apparently, I don't think he is going to go ahead and chime in today. So, but he's got the Bucs going up against the Atlanta Falcons today in Tampa, and the Bucs are looking shaky. I mean, they gave up 41 points to the Chiefs, which I think any good defense may end up giving those type of points up anyway. But just to see the Bucs, you would think they would have a little bit more balance on defense. But right now, their offense isn't clicking as well as it should. Can't blame it on Brady. Brady actually had a pretty decent game out there, but their defense needs to bring it home. And they're going up against Atlanta. No Kyle Pitts, by the way. No, Pitts is out for this game again for Atlanta. So I guess I'd be comfortable to say the Bucs take it on. But at some point in time, and I'd love to get Vic on this one here, at some point in time, the media is going to be taking off Brady. And Brady just has to go out there and do his thing. But right now, with him going through this whole event with Giselle, all the stuff on Facebook and social media about them and Giselle getting a divorce, it's like maybe we're starting to see some cracks in Brady. I know he tries to keep professional and personal life really separate, but do you see any cracks in Brady right now, or is it just basically lack of offensive line, lack of weapons, and injuries that are happening?
Man, it weighs in on you. I don't care what nobody say. That it's affecting him. I don't think it's like during the game it's like nonstop, but it affects the practice and you get off track a little bit. But he's locked in, but still it's affecting him. It that's your home life. It carries over in small bits and pieces. So he would say it doesn't, and everybody who's a fan gonna say it doesn't, but it does.
Yep. Well, I like the comment real quickly. I'm just going to go back to the picks that you guys had, because I listened into the show because I had to write down the picks and everything. Listening to the show when you got to the Rams-Niners game, I heard everybody say, I'm not sold on Jimmy G yet. Jimmy G wins. And that's why I picked the Niners. He just wins.
That he does. He does. Give it to him.
You got to give it to Jimmy. And shoulder surgery, no shoulder surgery, accuracy, not accuracy, whatever the case may be. If your team next year and you see Jimmy out there and you need a quarterback, or at least you're questioning your quarterback, dude, you need to take him. There's no question that this guy is gold.
And Jimmy is not bad, but once again, when you look at that game and you see what was one of the things that everybody talked about, a 3-yard slant went 57 yards.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. A 2-yard screen went 22 yards.
Now, is this just? Are you basically saying this is more coaching and more schemes than Jimmy?
It's definitely a mixture of both of them. He still got to get it done because you got some quarterbacks who don't get to complete that screen, don't get to complete that slant. But how many people got that number 19 over there that can do everything on your offense when you need it to be done?
Yeah. I mean, when you go ahead and have a guy that is relied that heavily on,
Yeah.
you listen, anytime that you even see him limp or not get up right away, you start holding your breath.
Right. And man, think about it. How many times did Jimmy throw over 20 yards?
Yeah. Yeah,
You
true.
know? But at the same time, hey, if we
not
don't need to,
saying,
you can't hold it against him if we don't need to.
yeah. Yeah, we're not going to say he's going to go ahead and be Aaron Rodgers and all
Right.
this stuff. Oh, look at this double reverse. Giants scored touchdown. Wow. Touchdown Giants. They've just cut the lead 17-9, extra point to come. And that's just before the half. Still a minute 15 to go. So Aaron Rodgers, 3 timeouts, minute 15. They could still run down the field and kick it or at least score. So just giving a heads up there on what's happening right now in London. But yeah, listen, you don't need to go ahead and throw it 20 yards. I mean, I get it. That makes you a good quarterback, maybe even a great quarterback. But you also, Jimmy's more of a game manager than a person who's going to sling it 50 yards. So, but he doesn't matter what team he's played for, he goes out and wins.
Yeah.
Now is he?
And then when you go back to the Patriot days, how many times did he have to throw over 35 yards? Had a great run game. Defense was solid.
Yep.
And he had those slot receivers who caught the ball and made things happen and screen here, screen there, screen here, screen there. But you can't hold that against him because they did what? They won.
They won. And now, don't get me wrong. We're not saying he's never going to never throw over 20 yards.
Right.
He has. And the question is, does he do it well enough to where you can count on him to throw it over 20 yards? Because if you don't, you just stick to the dink and dunk and you just drive down the field. Because listen, what do you really need to get a first down? 10 yards.
You can.
Eventually, you're going to get to a first and goal, which means it's under 10 yards. What do? You just throw it at 10 yards and touchdown. You don't need to throw it 20 yards. If you want to keep the defense honest, yes, but do you really need to? No, you don't need to. Yeah, not a whole lot going on, really. I mean, we're just trying to go ahead. I'm trying to get back into the groove of things, and I know you got coaching to do. So we're actually just going to go right into picks.
If
that's okay with you. So, yeah, I know. The last couple of weeks, it's been an hour show. Vic went ahead and did an hour show.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. We don't want to bore people. All right. So
I gotta get my picks together. I've been slacking. I'm coming back today.
He's coming back, everybody. Coming back. Okay. So Vic went ahead and gave us his picks. Let me get this split screen so we can go ahead and keep tabs on everything. Randy hasn't given us his picks, so we'll just go ahead and continue.
No, he sent them. He sent them.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got him. Okay. I got him. All right. So, all right. Let's start off here because I'm going off the schedule that is on NFL.com. Let's start off Buffalo and Pittsburgh. Everybody's picked the Bills so far, and I'm going to agree.
I'm going to go with it.
I mean, come on. We're doing a rookie quarterback.
Right.
In the Lions' den. I mean, listen, I'll give Pittsburgh loads of respect for making the move they did. Let me ask you this. Did you think they pulled the panic button maybe a little too quick?
I don't think so. I think if we go back and check, I think we said week 5 or week 6, if he's not doing productive, they're gonna get him.
Yeah, but in the middle of a game, though,
hey,
I mean, it is what it is. But just saying. All right, let's go Cleveland, 1:00 game. It is the Chargers and the Browns. So I think both Vic and Randy picked the Chargers. It's in Cleveland.
That's why I'm taking Cleveland, just because it's in Cleveland. I haven't even seen the weather. I'm about to check the weather and see what it looked like. You never know in October in Cleveland. It's probably.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything significant to go ahead and make me think otherwise.
53.
That's pretty mild.
Yeah. I'm taking Cleveland.
Yeah, okay. We got Houston going into Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. I am seeing Jags and Jags. So I'm going to agree. I'm going to say Jacksonville.
I like how they've been looking, and they had me at least that first quarter. I was worried, like, oh my God, 14-0. So I like what they're doing. I think our defense is better than Texas, and I think they're really coming off being upset by the Eagles. They didn't like how it went, and they're gonna put some work on them at home.
Right. All right, we're going into Minnesota now. The 2-2 Chicago Bears going up against the 3-1 Minnesota Vikings. Both Victor and Randy picked Minnesota.
I'm wondering what they know that I don't know.
Yeah, what do they know?
I'm taking the Vikings. I don't know. I'm taking the Vikings. I don't know what they know, but
well, no, they're picking the Vikings too.
Nah, they got the Bears.
Oh,
that's Thursday night.
Yeah, they say
okay, that's next week. Okay.
Yeah, that's Thursday night. That's the end
I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, they didn't mark him down there though. They didn't mark him down, but no, Randy marked it down, but Vic didn't mark down Thursday Night Football, so he just. Okay. But he doesn't normally do these picks anyway like this. Got some comments here actually coming late here. Buffalo going to win big. Well, John Moreau, of course, Dallas man right here. Chargers. He's picking Jags and the Vikings.
Is he picking with his heart for the Dallas and the Rams? That's my question.
I don't know. Actually, to be honest with you, the way Dallas has been looking, I may pick Dallas. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see here. So we got the Lions going up against the Patriots. Both teams 1-3. Both teams desperately need a win, and both of those gentlemen picked Detroit. Listen, I like New England to go ahead and score some points, and I think they're going to be a tough defense against whatever Detroit has, so I'm going to go Patriots.
Man, I hate to go against you on that one, but I got to take the Lions. I just like how their offense has been clicking and putting up points. Like you said, can they put up more than their defense give up?
Yeah, I've been disappointed with Detroit because, listen, when you give up 48 to Seattle, come on now. And I think we got a better defense than Seattle does. So. All right, we're going into New Orleans. Again, Andy Dalton is starting at 1-3, pretty much the same caliber as Geno Smith with Seattle at 2-2. We got this. Randy has the Saints, and Vic has the Seahawks. So they're actually splitting on this one.
I'm taking the Saints.
Yeah, it's at home.
Yeah.
But I just like Seattle. They're shocking the hell out of me. And again, they could be just another team that you never expect, even though they have a better record. It's like, well, they're not going to go ahead and beat us, right?
But I think this one is a must win for the Saints, and they know we can't overlook anybody this week. They have to over prepare because of Andy Dalton. So that's what I mean. I think they're going to lean a little bit more on the run. I think
Alvin Kamara is playing, by the way. He is activated for today. So just maybe a heads up. I don't know. I still think Seattle wins it. We'll go with that. All right. Next up is Dolphins in New York against the Jets. This one, Teddy Bridgewater gets the start, but Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are expected to play today. I like Miami.
Randy picked the Jets. Whoa.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so we got 3 with Miami, Randy with the Jets going lone wolf on that one. All right, let's move on. Tampa Bay, Atlanta in Tampa. All the weapons should be back for Brady to take advantage of. Atlanta is going to be without Kyle Pitts, their star tight end. Second-year tight end. This is a 1:00 game in Tampa. I think Brady figures it out.
Tampa. He's going to take all his aggression that he had with his wife and the lawyers on them.
I thought he would take it out on one of the cheerleaders. Let's take one of those guys. Everybody's picking the Bucs on that one. No surprise really there. All right, let's move on to Washington. The Commanders, 1-3. I know they're in the same division as the Eagles, but you got to feel sorry for them. They're 1-3. You guys are 4-0. Anyway, they're going up against Tennessee, who actually showed up finally. They're 2-2. 1:00 game in the nation's capital. Let's see here. Commanders, or I think both of them picked the Titans.
Titans.
Yeah,
I'm
Titans.
right. I believe the Titans win that one.
You would think so. You wouldn't want to lose in Washington. That's
Right.
just not cool. And since everybody's picking Tennessee, I'm going to go ahead and throw my hat out there, and I'm going to say Tennessee. All right. All right, let's go ahead and start the 4:00 games. Again, these are Eastern times. 4:00 games. The first one out there is in Carolina, taking on the 2-2 San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy G going up against whoever the hell Carolina has. I think it's still Baker. Baker is going to get baked. I'm going Niners.
Niners, easy selection.
Yeah, they just got a better team right there. And that actually everybody's picking the Niners on that one. Let's go ahead to the Rams. LA, the Rams at home against Dallas. Now, believe it or not, Dallas is a better record than the Rams. 3-1. Those 3 wins. Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush. Who? Cooper Rush. The future of the Dallas Cowboys. Dak will be traded.
Yeah.
Right. No, I'm kidding. I honestly don't know. Listen, if he goes ahead and remains undefeated by week 6 when Dak is supposed to come back against the Eagles, do you really bench Cooper? Do you really do it? If you go 5-0 in your games that you've started, do you really get the pine?
Why would the question is, why would you not? You are not our starting quarterback. Injury happened. You came in, you carried us how you want to. Think back to your team.
Yes.
And I'm not, you can't compare Dak to Brady, but you had other quarterbacks on yours.
You had a quarterback, which we didn't know. Listen, I didn't even know of this kid until he came in. Like, who the hell is this? Don't we have another quarterback? Who's this guy? Who's Brady? So I see Brady come in, and he's just averagely throwing the ball around. He's not making any great throws. He's just average, but he's driving the team down, and then he ends up winning. Cooper has not lost yet.
Yeah, he hasn't, but it's coming. So the question is, okay, let's say you win, but if you lose, do you give up on him that quick, or do you still say, oh, he's only 4-1?
I'll take the Rams.
Okay, I'm with you. But the best thing to do is let that boy keep playing. He win. I don't care if he's 7-0. Your starting quarterback is Dak Prescott. That's who you invested in. Because if he didn't get hurt, we'll still be like, who is Cooper Rush? We wouldn't have known his name still. You came in, you managed the game, you didn't lose. We appreciate you. You kept our hope alive for the playoffs. But our guy that we paid, that we believe in completely, is Dak Prescott.
Now, with Vic going ahead and putting his teams in, he put Rams with quotations, I don't know. He picked the Rams. Rams is what we're picking. Did I skip a game? I did skip a game. Philadelphia, Arizona. Easy. I think we all know what that's going to be. It's going to be Philadelphia's first loss.
Oh.
Nah, I'm kidding. Go Eagles. And I believe there's a consensus with the other two, and I assume you're going to do the same.
The Ravens.
No, Eagles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, easy.
It's like saying. All right, yeah. Cincinnati, Baltimore. This is the battle of 2-2 teams. One team can't stop the pass rush. The other team can't stop making bad freaking calls on the sidelines. They're losing games again for bad calls. He needs to get fired. But in this time, I got to pick smart. I'm going to pick the Ravens.
I take the Ravens on this one. Probably the next game when Bengals at home. I'm taking the home field advantage as the oversight.
Okay. And the other two gentlemen also picked Baltimore as well. All right. Then we got, that's the Sunday night game, by the way, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Sunday night, 8:20. Monday night, it is the battle from Vegas or for Vegas against Kansas City inside Kansas City. Vegas has looked very disappointing this year with all the upgrades that they were expected to have, with all the stuff that they're supposed to be a high-powered offense. They've looked very puppy-like. Kansas City all the way.
I'm gonna take Kansas City. Something's telling me the Raiders gonna do something, but I'm gonna take Kansas City. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout.
I mean, we didn't see Kansas City losing to Indianapolis, for crying out loud. I mean, that's one of those games like just really? Is that really what's going to happen? And let's go Thursday night for next week, week 6. That is the Commanders and Bears. I see Commanders actually.
I'm with you. I'm taking Washington on that one. I thought I was gonna be by myself.
Nah, I got you on that one. I mean, I think a lot of it's going to have to do with how they really play this week against Minnesota.
Right.
Because they're going to go back home for Thursday night. But if they go ahead and get their asses handed to them against Minnesota tonight or today, they're going to be playing with 4 days rest and they're just going to be down. It's like, I think it's going to be one of those motivational things. So we'll see. But I think the Commanders, they got the Tennessee, that they're not going to beat Tennessee. And if they do, great for them. But I don't know. I think Washington has a little bit more of a sound offense than Chicago does. And maybe that's why Chicago won those 2 games. Well, one of them was a monsoon, so you got to take that into consideration. But yeah, I mean, that's I see Washington winning that one there. John's going to chime in real quick. John, what's up?
Yeah, I'm taking Cowboys are definitely going to lose today, but I'm taking Cowboys getting +5 on the ticket.
So you're saying they're going to cover the spread on your end for the betting team,
right?
Okay,
right.
All right.
I'm betting with my brain, not my heart.
Yeah, you're betting with your balls. I get it.
That's balls to the wall,
right.
baby.
That's right. All right, man. Hey,
Eagles
listen,
gonna lose today.
And
Eagles gonna lose.
Ooh.
I don't respond to negativity.
Take care, John.
Have a good one.
Yeah, Charles.
Thank you. All right, so that's John over there giving us his pick there. Eagles going to lose, although he's going against the majority, which is 4-0. And I'm not talking about 4-0 record. I'm talking about us 4 have all picked Philadelphia. So not really a whole lot of competition. So let's go ahead and real quickly, let's go over the games one more time here as we have made our picks. We all think Buffalo is going to take care of Pittsburgh. We're split on the Chargers and Cleveland game. Me and Mike taking Cleveland. The other 2 who are not here taking the Chargers. We all think Jacksonville will handle Houston. We all think Minnesota is going to handle Chicago. We all think, except for me, Detroit's going to handle New England. I think New England may pull it off just because of they're wearing their old uniforms now. We are split in New Orleans and Seattle. Me and Vic think Seattle will take it. Mike and Randy say New Orleans. We all have Miami, except for Randy, who are going with the Jets. I think he may have been drinking a little bit too much for that game that he was picking. We all think Tampa Bay will go ahead and win. We all think Tennessee will win. We all think San Francisco will win. We all think the Rams will win. We all think Eagles will win. We all think Baltimore will win. Kansas City will win. And we're split on Thursday's game between Chicago and Washington. Me and Mike picking Washington, Vic and Randy going Chicago. A lot of games we are seeing eye to eye in on all 4 of us. So do you see this season getting clearer as we're seeing these teams play more and more?
I thought it was going to be a certain way. It is not playing out how I thought. I mean, like you said, Seattle is a big shock to everybody because I didn't have them winning 4 games, and it looked like they're going to win 4.
At least.
Yeah.
Unless they just go ahead and make a huge collapse. But listen, you got Pete Carroll. Now, given what Pete Carroll has done recently with one quarterback. Kind of the same thing Belichick's been ever since, Carroll was there. He's had Russell Wilson. But Pete's one of those coaches that, he's going to go ahead and get his team to rally. I don't think you're going to see this team go far off the deep end. I mean, you may see the deep end. You may see double-digit losses, but it's not going to be like 3-14. You'll see, 6-11, 7-10, maybe pulling together with an even season. So, but Pete Carroll's going to keep his team where it needs to be. So, any other surprise teams that you see out there that were besides Seattle? By the way, Green Bay did drive down the field and kick a field goal before halftime. They're up 20-10. They're at the half right now. But any other surprise teams that you see out there besides Seattle that have either surprised you, impressed you, or disappointed you?
I mean, definitely the Jags. I didn't think they was going to be able to compete like they've been competing. Yeah, they lost some games, but they've competed significantly, which was a shock for me. And they're able to continue to grow. So they're a shock for me.
Is it surprising to me to say that Miami's kind of been a shock to me? Now, disappointing shock because they're doing so well in the AFC East, but also just because I didn't think Tua would be the quarterback to go ahead and use all these weapons. And Vegas has been a big disappointment.
The Raiders are definitely, yes. Oh, my goodness. Definitely a disappointment. Hey, the Rams, too. Who's seen them struggling the way they have?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they obviously everybody's on, they're on everybody's radar now. Everybody that's playing them, they're on their radar. So it's like you can't escape it. By the way, next week there is no early game, so we don't have to go ahead and dive into the early games. We're going back to 1 and 4 o'clock games Eastern time. And of course the Prime Video game still at 8:15. Have you catched anything on Prime Video, or you liking what Prime is doing, or is that just a joke? I think honestly it's a joke. I think they just need to bring it back to an NFL Network.
I think take it back, but I haven't caught much of the Prime games because of work. So I can't speak a lot on it. Yeah.
I got you. All right, man. Well, any last words that you want to go ahead and chime in before we get the hell out of here?
Super Bowl, Philly, fly Eagles fly. What else can I say?
That's true, man. That's going to be your go-to, and watch it happen. Watch it happen. Listen? If it does happen, who would you like to see in the AFC come out and challenge you guys? Would you like to see Kansas City? Would you see Buffalo? Would you like to see Tennessee?
I would. Not Tennessee, but Buffalo or Kansas City. I think we can match up well against them. Both of them. I think we match up well. I would rather see Buffalo. I think we could force Josh to run more, and that would end up changing the game. What's the name would sit in the pocket and give us more sack opportunities, but he released the ball. Yeah. Mahomes released the ball.
Yeah, but Mahomes and Allen, they both know how to run, though. They both know how to run.
I think Josh wants to run more than Mahomes will.
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, you might be right. All right, man. Well, hey, listen, thanks for joining, and hopefully we'll get the whole crew back next week. In the meantime, go ahead and enjoy your games, and we'll see you back here next week, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Touchdown Crew.
See you when I look at it,
everybody.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.